So I'm now joined by Gráinne, who is with Global Action Plan. Thank you very much for joining us, Gráinne. It's really great to have you. So tell me a little bit more about Global Action Plan and why you're here at the festival and what if you have a stall.
Yeah, so we are an environmental charity based in Ballymum in Dublin. And we mainly work with schools, like primary schools, secondary schools. We also have adult education programs, all themed around the environment. So our kind of tagline is creating the climate for change. So it kind of encompasses like waste, water, energy, biodiversity, and we have like modules on global citizenship, loads of different things.
So there's a huge amount that you do, and is it volunteer based? Are you a volunteer yourself?
I was an intern in the beginning, and now it's my job. So
fantastic.
Yeah, we have volunteers as well. So we have like 2 community gardens in Ballymum, and that's all volunteer led, apart from our community gardener who's part of our staff.
Okay, fantastic. And then what's the kind of biggest project that you have going on at the moment?
Oh God, me personally is Water Explorer. So it's a schools conservation program. It's all interactive whiteboard based. I think it's a brilliant initiative, and we're gearing up for a new launch in September. And then I suppose wider for the rest of my team, we have a couple of things with like Irish Aid, so around kind of the sustainable development goals, and then programs like our community garden are just all ongoing, and they're pretty big undertaking, but
great. And I picked up sustainable development goals there. I know a little bit about them myself, but for people who don't know what they're about, what can you explain a bit about them?
Yeah, sure. So I think a lot of people knew about the Millennium Development Goals because they were very kind of widely publicised and that kind of thing. And they're just collective goals that I think 193 countries have agreed on. And it's to kind of combat climate change, poverty, different like kind of health issues. We do focus on 6 or 7 sustainable development goals that are more environmentally themed. So they would be kind of biodiversity loss, water quality around the world, that kind of thing. But yeah, they're just like collective goals that I don't know, a lot of countries have.
Yeah, that those 193 countries are working towards.
Agreed last year, so they're very kind of topical. They're also called the global goals. People probably have heard of that a lot
fantastic. More. And in terms of then even today at St. Anne's Park, how does that relate? What does your work, why do you guys come here for today's festival? What does this benefit for you guys?
So it's not necessarily a benefit for us, but it's nice to kind of go out into a different community sometimes, meet new people. Pretty much everyone knows us in Ballymum. So coming to St. Anne's Park, which is like my local turf, is nice. Yeah, so today all of our activities are biodiversity themed. So we try and pick like one kind of focus, and what we're trying to do is get kids to be more aware of their surroundings. So we have sand art, it's a really fun activity for all ages.
Sand art, okay, so tell me a bit more about that. So are kids going along today and actually creating things?
Yeah, so it's just over there, and it is just like kind of a bit of fun for them, but before they get to do it, we do ask them, okay, what have you seen today? And we have ID keys, and they try and find out what species they've seen and that kind of thing.
So you're really educating and really kind of educating through play.
We're just trying to get them to be a little bit more aware about what they're seeing, and to appreciate the kind of vastness of the biodiversity in this park.
That's fantastic. And how, so the sand is like they're kind of making sculptures and stuff out of sand and sandcastles kind of thing, is that it? And then they have...
So it's kind of like instead of paint, so the sand is all like all of the dye is environmentally friendly, sustainably sourced, but yeah, they just like draw a picture with a pencil and put like different bits of glue on it and then different colours of sand and then shake it all off. And
okay, so something really creative to come down and get involved in.
The ID keys, and they're getting used to identifying different bugs with like depending on how many legs they have or what kind of shell they have, that kind of thing.
So yeah, that sounds fantastic. So something really creative that kids can get involved in to do. So that's great. Thank you so much for joining me, Gráinne. It was great to have you, and you did really well, didn't we? No, you're absolutely fine. So enjoy the rest of the day, and I look forward to coming around to the stall later.
Yeah, cool, please do. I'll get you to do some sand art.
Oh, brilliant, can't wait. Thanks a million, Gráinne. I'll see you later. So now we have Bill from the Transport Ireland. So Bill, come on in. How are you? You're grand, how are you?
Great.
Good. Been thrown in here at the last minute.
That's all right, I'm used to
Good,
it.
good. So let me know a bit about what you're here for and what Transport Ireland do.
Okay, I'm from Bill Garrioch, Vice Chairman of the National Transport Museum. We're based in Howth Castle, and we have a great range of stuff for people to see. We've buses, trucks, trams, fire engines, old horse-drawn vehicles. We're actually at the moment restoring the oldest electric tram in the world, one at the Giant's Causeway, 1883.
And where was that tram from? Is that from Ireland? Or
Yeah, that's from Northern Ireland, from the Giant's Causeway, yeah. It was one of the first trams on the causeway system.
That's incredible. And how hard is it to try and refurbish that? Or
It's very difficult. The tram that you see here today in St Anne's Park,
I'm sorry, where can people check that out? Where's that?
they can check it out near the entrance. And we have the tram there, it's number 224. She was built in 1896 and she was restored by us over a period of 11 years.
11 years.
And if you work it out, there's 8 people involved in it. Sadly, 5 of them are no longer with us. They have passed on, and there's just a few of us left doing it.
Okay, so but a real advocate of passion that you're doing this. You really are all into this. You're really, really interested in it. And how did you get involved yourself? How did you start getting involved in transport?
I went to a talk Jim Kilroy was giving about trams, and he says, I'm looking for volunteers. And I was stupid enough to join up.
It all starts with a, I put my hand up and I regretted it straight after. So.
That was over 30 years ago, so.
Oh my God, okay, so it's a real passion.
It is a passion, yeah, and you have to be slightly nuts to do it.
That's okay, we all are. That's fantastic, that's really great. And do you have a stall here at the festival as well?
We do, we have the tram at the gate, and we're selling DVDs of Howth trams and Dublin City trams. So they're available for about a tenner each.
Okay.
And all the money goes to us for restoration.
For restoration
museum,
purposes,
yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
That's really, really great. That's fantastic.
We have great people in the museum. We have a good chairman, John Kelleher. We have Jim Kilroy, who's headed the restoration team. So we're...
And where is the museum if people want to go and find out where it is?
If people want to go, it's on the road in from Sutton to Howth, the coast road. And you come to a bend just before you go into Howth, and you look up to your right hand side, you see a big set of gates. It's marked Deer Park. And you go up through the gates, up the avenue, you take the first turn to the right, you go down another small avenue, right again, and it opens up into the yard. Museum straight in front of you.
So everybody can replay this to get those directions again.
We are only open on Saturdays and Sundays from 2 to 6.
Okay.
We're all voluntary, none of us.
Okay, so it's all voluntary, and that's great. That's fantastic. And then, have you had many visitors coming to see all of this?
Good few visitors, and it's programs like this actually that will encourage people to come.
Absolutely.
And you know, other publicity we can get, people come, and I suppose we get about 12,000 people a year viewing the museum.
And how important is it to restore these trams? Is this for historical purposes, that we all know how it was all working, you know, back hundreds of years ago? So how important is it to keep this going today?
I think it's vitally important because this is part of our heritage and it hasn't been recognised in the past. It's only recently now it's starting to be recognised, and we got a grant from the government of €10,000, which we never got before.
Brilliant.
Administration, which is fantastic. So hopefully, fingers crossed, that's going to increase.
Yeah, that's absolutely fantastic. Well, I'm delighted you got that funding for it. That's absolutely brilliant. Bill, thank you so much for chatting to me today. It was really, really great and really interesting to find out more about it. And great that people can come along and see it today. So thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Enjoy the rest of the day.
I will, and you
Thank
too.
you. Bye.